Now, apparently, or somebody said, maybe, are Microsoft going to be more down for Warcraft 4? This has been spreading around. So
yeah, it was David Fried.
Yes.
Ex-Blizzard.
And, he's ex-Blizzard. I mean, who knows? Maybe he knows people. I would say his analysis is probably highly similar to ours.
Yeah,
it was one of the first things we fucking thought about. We're like, oh my God, wait, Microsoft, they actually are respecting having healthy niches within their overall gaming, ecosystem.
Well, as for David Fried knowing people, I think he left Blizzard 18 years ago. So if he does know people, they're old contacts, which likely means they're pretty good contacts.
Sure, because who knows where some of those people have went.
Or he might know nobody.
No, but your friend of a friend could have just helped lead a funding round for a studio. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, and he does, in fact, highlight one specific name that he may know.
Yeah, and by the way, great YouTube channel, so we'd recommend checking out Designer Dave, I believe.
Yes.
So, what's the story here? Well, former Warcraft 3 and World of Warcraft game designer David Fried recently discussed the possibility of Blizzard developing a new game in the Warcraft franchise coming after the pending acquisition of ActiBliz by Microsoft. I think Warcraft 4 now becomes a distinct possibility because there are people at Blizzard who are still there who are foundational to it. Chief among them, Samwise Didier, who I am 90% sure would love to do a Warcraft 4. And now they may get the chance to lead that. That's interesting. Now, Samwise, he got himself in a pickle lately.
That he did.
You know about Sammy's pickle? Yeah, Sammy's pickle is kind of sad. Basically, man's doing an NFT project.
Oh, yeah.
His main response to people, he didn't, last time I checked, he didn't actually engage with any of the criticism people had. And he was just like, always create, make more shit, just make shit. This NFT, it's me making shit. You should all go make shit. Let's make shit. Which, of course, is uncomfortably close to fucking Troy Baker's don't hate, create. But it's Troy Baker. At the end of the day, people, I think they struggle to understand Troy Baker because, they think, oh, you're working games. Why are you so, uppity about it sometimes? I mean, my co-founder of the games company, Thomas, he did theater. He also did computer science, and that's what saved him. But because of that, the amount of times I'd hang around with people, like theater kids. You theater kids, you're all fucking nuts.
All nuts, yeah.
You're all nuts. Yeah. And I'm sure,
sometimes in a good way.
Imagine, yeah. I mean, if you only had, I'm not saying I have these stories, but if you only had, I don't know, half the stories of, say, Taliesin's time at theater school, those people, they're doing the drugs, they're doing the sex. But Jesus, everyone's bucking everyone.
Two highly unrecommended things.
Everyone is just shagging everyone. Everyone's like, oh my God, I got snubbed for the student award. The easiest way to understand Troy Baker is that he's an actor.
Yep.
There you go. Of course, he's going to be quoting Big Teddy Roosevelt.
Yep, I appreciate
doing all of that. He does great work, by the way. But that's how to understand Troy's "don't hate, create" thing. Yeah. Fundamentally, he just reminds me of a bunch of those theater people. And loads of them are fine, lovely people. It's just sometimes the ego can lead them in a funny direction.
Yeah, there's a I don't even know how to describe it. I appreciate the craft of acting, but there's something about it seems to be very dangerous for one's sense of self and sense of importance in the world. That is not necessarily true for everyone, but it certainly seems to be a theme, let's say. Something they love. Yeah.
Anyway, so that was a bit of the whole weird Troy NFT thing. So for Samwise, the NFT was kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
I wish that there could be a good, in-depth and nuanced discussion of NFTs.
Nope.
I really wish there could be that because... as with there you go. As with all new technologies, there are novel uses and there are, I want some money now. Are you telling me that I can just, make a wee art collection and suddenly it's worth $1 billion, the Bored Apes. But anyway, so, Samwise obviously got some pushback in that. But, Samwise, he was a part in setting up that whole, the feel of Warcraft, right? What it is.
Yep.
Hang on, something happened.
I believe Samwise Didier was the one who drew the panda as well.
Yeah.
So Pandaria was his fault. Thank you, Samwise. That sounded sarcastic. I didn't mean it. Pandaria is awesome.
On J.B. It's just tweeted saying on PTR, Covenant Hearthstones now update your current Covenant Innkeeper when you swap.
Nice.
There you go. So to go back to this, Samwise is like a part of so much of that core like DNA. Where you know, think about it, it's basically a bunch of metalheads who were like nerds at school, who played D&D, probably got some shit for playing D&D, and now they're just like, fuck yeah, we make cool shit. Yeah. I have combined my love of the metal and the D&D, and they've smashed together. Now we have fucking dwarves and all this, you know, cool shit. Like Samwise, he's gonna have his dwarves. I'm sure fucking a good old techno barbarian.
Yeah.
Oh, he'd draw a mean techno barbarian.
Absolutely.
That's Sam. So the idea that, you know, get him into a sort of a War 4, that would be cool. Now then, when War 3 Reforged was still in development, the then senior producer Pete Stillwell stated in an interview with GameSpot, "I wouldn't rule anything out, but we don't have any plans around Warcraft 4 at this point. Getting Warcraft 3 Reforged right, I think, is our priority first and foremost."
I feel like that is the most poorly aged thing I think I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yeah, big. Oh man. While Warcraft 3 ended up being a complete disaster, and still is a disaster, you know, at least we do have some modders who are coming in actually sort of doing it right. But the thing is that Microsoft owns Blizzard now. Microsoft
they will.
Yeah, will soon. Microsoft has recently shown a tremendous amount of respect to one of their historical RTS franchises. Certainly, knowing that it's not going to sell as many copies as Halo. In the same way they spent all that time and money, of course, on, you know, Flight Sim. And I'm sure Flight Sim people will buy DLC and shit just like model train enthusiasts. Absolutely. That's a deep monetizable market, but it's not humongous like a Halo or a Call of Duty is. And that was the thing. At Blizzard, there was a dictate of, you know, we make billion-dollar franchises, billion-dollar games. That's what we do.
Yep.
And of course, that was just coming from the sort of the top level AB, you know, pressures.
Yeah.
So Microsoft don't see it that way, though. Microsoft are clearly understanding that they have to be a broad church with lots of different niches and lots of very happy customers.
Yep.
And that's why we do think that, you know, potentially this is a near perfect chain of things leading to a Warcraft 4.
Yeah, it's a case of you expect Phil Spencer, if he's coming in, to be like, right, boys, what are you doing over here at Blizzard Entertainment? And I was like, we've got World of Warcraft. And he's like, we've got Diablo 4, nice. We've got Overwatch 2, nice. We've got Other Knights Project, we'll talk about soon. We've got Other Knights Survival Game. He's like, yeah, but where the fuck's the Warcraft 4? And they'll be like, good point. Here's a bunch of squirrely excuses as to why we haven't done it, including losing all of our RTS staff. He's like, fuck it, grab the Age of Empire boys, try to poach a couple back with our Microsoft money, get it done.
Could happen.
Why am I just writing fanfic in my head?
Yeah, I mean, that's what's going on. But I wouldn't be surprised, you know, if it's like E3 3 or 4 years from now and Phil Spencer, you know, he comes up, he does his thing, the lights dim, and now I'm writing a fanfic too. And we see like the opening cinematic for a Warcraft 4. And
Phil
by
Spencer
that time...
rips his shirt off.
Oh yeah, it turns out he's got Illidan tattoos or some shit. Oh god, that would be that'd be a bit cringe to be honest.
He's got the Legion like dev shirt.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking
but printed
of exactly.
on his body. Oh god.
But, yeah, that's something that like I visualize that and it doesn't seem absurd anymore. It did seem absurd a few months ago.
Yeah, maybe either we've had a mental breakdown or the industry's going wild.
Yeah. But the thing too, which we need to remember is has been forgotten by me as soon as I said it.
Nice.
Oh, this is good. What is the thing? Oh yeah, Warcraft is going to need a big kick in the arse. Because when World of Warcraft was really pumping, like, yeah, it obviously had a big cultural wave, but it's kind of like when they burned through all of the RTS stuff and then they're like sort of called like, oh fuck, what do we do now?
Yeah,
that's when they started to have their issues. So I think just the idea of having a, you know, imagine a World of Warcraft expansion ends and then Warcraft 4 comes out in the period between the WoW expansions. And then, you know, then the new WoW expansion is based on the ending of War 4 and what all of, you know, like That is how to, that's how to get WoW 2.
Yeah. I couldn't.
It can still run on the same engine, but that is how you would get WoW 2.
Yeah, for sure. I can't. I actually genuinely can't imagine that. Like, there's a big blocker in my brain. I can almost visualize the wall, but like, error. This is too unlikely to imagine. But maybe not.
Debbie said, "Can the Age of Empires remaster team go nuts with Warcraft 1 through 3?" Oh, yeah. They did not do a Reforged. They did that definitive edition. Well, so has the perfect chain of events leading to Warcraft 4 already happened? What would it take for it to be possible? What chain of events would need to occur? Well, there's the whole end of the saga. During the dev preview, Denuzer and co stated, "The Shadowlands pulls together story threads that started in Warcraft 3 and wove their way through many of our expansions. Eternity's End serves as the final chapter to one book of the Warcraft saga." So, but the timing doesn't work.
Yeah.
So, we need a fucking interim book. We need a few novellas before. But then, of course, it's the Microsoft acquisition and how they themselves are, just seemingly way more open to this sort of thing. And you've got to remember, too, it's because for them, building IP and brand is like so much more important than short-term money because they are a platform holder with a different set of financial incentives to a third-party publisher that really, they need to keep the games coming out. They need to get the money in. Whereas with Microsoft, like, they're so much more of a broad and healthy corporation. And with Xbox, they are obviously playing a long-term growth strategy. So that certainly changes the arithmetic.
Exactly.